I think it's true in most countries that energy infrastructure was built a long time ago when coal was king. So much of the energy we use right now is produced by coal. All of our infrastructure is built that way, and then along comes climate change and it says coal is bad. Not only the companies that produce the coal, the utilities that burn the coal, the factories that incorporate it in their production, not only are they vested interests, but the energy production, the people responsible for energy production, the ministries of energy, for example, a lot of times they're not paying attention to emissions. Their job is to produce energy to keep up with demand. Every country has growth targets that are higher than they were last year. The expectation is to grow up, and for those economies to grow, they need more and more energy. You could call them a Ministry of Energy a vested interest. They have blinders. So many times you go to COP25, COP26, and you've got the Minister of Environment there saying, our country is going to cut back emissions doing X, Y, and Z. We're going to cut our coal use. We're going to cut our fossil fuel. We're going to transition. Meanwhile, back at home, the Ministry of Energy doesn't know any of that. They are just trying to produce energy enough to meet the demand. Countries are almost schizophrenic this way. There's not a lot of internal consistency. So some of that vested interest comes from just a lack of cohesion or coherency in how a government works. A lot of times you think, oh, the government does this, the government does that. Well, the government is made up of a gazillion different individuals, all with their own kind of fiefdoms and their own priorities, and it's not monolithic. They are really like their own little society, and how things work between these ministries or how is often a mystery. I mentioned before I like working for the Asia Foundation. It's because we do, in the countries we work, we do something called political economy analysis. And that's to try to understand what are these dynamics, how these people, what are their priorities, what do they care about, what moves them, who do they listen to and who do they ignore, and trying to map that out. Because once you do that, then you can start figuring out who are the champions, who are the individuals, who are the sparky people who are trying to move the needle, and we put resources behind those people. And then who are the people who are the obstacles, identify them, and isolate them. Make it public. One of the things we do in Indonesia, for example, back when Suharto fell, just before he left office, he decentralized the government down to the district level. He bypassed the provinces, and suddenly all of these districts were empowered to start managing their own natural resources themselves. This led to a lot of corruption at the district level and a big push to improve governance at that level. And I used to work for USAID on exactly that issue in Sulawesi. One of the programs that the Asia Foundation has right now is we work with local NGOs and we track how district governments make decisions about land use. It's usually with oil palm farmers who want to destroy existing forests in order to grow oil palm, which is extremely destructive, but many other uses of land. So we track that and we look to see if those activities are legal or illegal. Many of them are illegal. And these NGOs, they document it, they publicize it, they report it to the Counter-Corruption Commission, they put it online, they put it in news agencies, and it's name and shame, basically. They make it public. And the ability to make bad decisions public brings to bear a lot of political pressure on those actors. So I was talking about, yes, okay, when you isolate those with vested interests, it's also good to publicize it, make it known. That kind of attention, it's not popular, and it creates pressure on the actors, all of the actors, to do something about it. That's the best thing I think I can offer on that.